welcome to the live. Now, while I'm waiting for you to hop on, I just want to make a little announcement. This weekend in London, the 24th of June, Saturday, and the 25th of June, Sunday, I am running some in-person coaching sessions. Now, there's still a few spots left. So if you would like to come and have a session with me in person, not on Zoom, you're very welcome to book a spot. And my email address is down in the description below. Hello, Gloria. You said you were coming. Here you are. Well done, my lovey. Nice to see you too. Nice to see. Well, I can't see you, but I can see that you're here. Now, hi Navi. Hello Silly Scriber. Hello Hippie Magica. Mahika. I've got to say it properly. So, what are we talking about today? Pop your little questions up and we'll have a little bit of a discussion. Now, for those of you that are new, while I'm waiting for the questions, there are 3 free courses and they are all relationship related. One is Attract Your Person, another one is about having a wonderful relationship, and another one is about those of you that are in long distance. You can do those courses for free, and I will put them in the description and also in the pinned comment underneath this live. Now, Gloria, we're starting with you. Now, you said, I noticed something really disturbing. When some men like me, they easily become obsessed and very intrusive. Why is this happening and how can I resolve this? Well, I guess it's looking at, firstly, what beliefs do I hold about men? What beliefs do I hold about men from the past? And what beliefs do I hold perhaps within myself, such as some people have a fear of being engulfed, fear of being controlled. So ask yourself, have I got any of those? Is that something that might be lingering from past relationships, or perhaps from childhood men? So yeah, I mean, sometimes we can be the one that wants, and other times we get where people want us, and it's like you're playing the other half. So neither one of them is comfortable. Neither one of them is comfortable. So I would suggest have a look at that, Gloria. Do a little bit of writing perhaps, and just say, okay, I'm going to make some columns. First column, any beliefs I have about relationships, about men, and about any particular men, any exes, just go down the timeline all the way down into the past and just see if you get a collection of thoughts that you have about the male gender. Okay? Now, hope that helps a little bit. Gloria, gives you a starting point. Navi, how to change beliefs about men. Oh, this is interesting. There's a bit of a theme here today. I feel like media, TV shows, music, etc. keep affirming that men are inherently disloyal. Well, is that true, or is that the shows that you're watching, Navi? Okay? It's about pulling your attention away from undesirable things. Okay? Now, it takes some effort to do that these days. It is much more difficult to pull away because we are being more bombarded. So it's putting things in place so that it can't get to you. And then you have to look at, do I have those beliefs myself about men? Because the external can be everyone as you pushed out. So it's reflecting back to you what you already believe. Now, I do think there is a collective consciousness around men by women. So it's making sure you don't watch the shows. It's making sure you don't plug into having those kind of conversations with other women. and not being around when women start that type of conversation, as in, you can even hear this at the bus stop. You can hear it when people are walking around with their phones. It is, sometimes it's not even the people we know, it is the just being out in the world in general. So you have to block stuff off, and you've got to saturate yourself in great relationship stories, wonderful, whether it's articles, podcasts, whether it's being around friends and family that have fantastic relationships. So yeah, it takes some effort, because a lot of this betrayal, I mean, even Netflix, you know, fake profile that's been on at the moment, and there's quite a few. Once you click on one, it will throw up more suggestions. So clear your history, specifically on computers, and also clear your own history, as in clear any conversations you had with mothers, with aunties, with sisters, with friends, anywhere where you've had these type of conversations, because the more you water those plants, the more that plant grows, and you don't want to grow that plant. Okay? Now, hi Laszlo, nice to see you too, darling. Rekha, you've got a question. Hi Agnes, I did most meditations, but financially I'm suffering and my SP has married. I was disappointed, angry, now more like numb. What can I do, please? Well, in terms of the SP, there's not a lot you can do now if he's now married. I mean, unless something changes. I'm not saying things can't, but you can't wait around forever if someone is married or just got married. So it's generating love within yourself, radiating that out, and getting to the point where you attract love in your life, and it might come in a different package than your SP in this case. Okay, I'm not a fan of people going after married men. That is, to me, not okay. And if you listen to Neville's golden rule, which is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So now, in regards to the financials, it's love and money are linked. If you go to my channel and put the words love and money after my name, you will see I've done a few videos on this. People that seem to struggle with love often have problems with the finances as well. It often goes together. Okay, so to build money, you have to get into the state of feeling free and abundant. Now, to me, feeling abundant and prosperity never worked for me, because I remember thinking, I can't see that. So I used to just practice, I am free, I am free, I am free. Because if you're wealthy, that's what it would feel like. So it really is something. Thank you, Sky. Thank you. It really is. One second, I'm just going to get some water. It really is about working on your I am free, so that you can feel free, and then from feeling free, you then attract more money, you see. Excuse me, everyone. And it's practicing doing that more and more and more, that you get into the feeling of freedom, that you get into the feeling of relaxedness, because you would be relaxed if you had a lot of money, you see. So if you have the feeling of I am free, you surrender, you let go of the tension. You got to do things to relax. So I think surrender, the 15-minute surrender meditation. Michael Singer talks a lot about the surrender experiment. Find some things that talk about surrender, and find some things that help you get into the feeling of surrender and letting go and freedom. I personally used to go to the beach, and I'd walk up and down the beach, and I'd say, I am free, I'm free, I'm free. That was the easiest way for me, because if I practiced I am wealthy, I am rich, it didn't work for me. Hippie Mahika, you asked, I saw you said, how do I attract a lot of money? And it is about, it's releasing the fear, it's releasing the anxiety. And how do you do that? You got to hop into something else. Okay? Now, I know you've said, how is the meaning of I'm free related to financial freedom? Well, rich people are free. Anu, if you feel free, if you have money, you feel free. If you feel relaxed, that's how rich people often feel, because they can buy what they want, they can do what they want when they want. So they're free. Now, some people are wealthy and they're tied up because they, they're so busy managing the things that make them money. It's not for everybody. But I think it's very helpful to get into the state of I am free. And once you feel free, then you attract more money. That's worked for me many times, and it's helped me get to 6 figures many times, and it gets to the point where it's relaxed and I can wake up without an alarm clock or whatever it is that's important to me. So think to yourself, if I felt free, if I had the money, what would I be doing that's different to now? And see if you can start doing those things, okay? So, the silly scriber. I want to be the gold medalist of the course I joined in June for my batch. What should I imagine for this? Visualization and general or specific affirmations. You can do a specific affirmation. I am now the gold medalist of the course. Very simple, clear. And then you can do an imaginal scene where, I don't know, are they going to give you something when you achieve that? If they do, what would that scene be? Visualize that, live in the end, feel the joy. Okay? It's just getting your imaginal scenes to match. Now, people, the messages often come in batches, so I can only grab one and the other ones fade back. So if I don't answer your question, just pop it back up. Now, P. Luna, hope all is well. What is your opinion on blocking SP for a while? I got triggered and that's why I did it, but now I'm in a better state of mind, but I don't know if I'm ready to unblock. Any advice? Well, don't do anything until you're sure, until you're clear. Remember, there's no rush. Relax, take your time. Turtle wins the race. Do things when you're ready. Do things when you're ready. The more you slow things down, it's like waiting for the fruit to ripen before you pick it. This is the same. So I would take my time when it feels right. Trust your feeling. If you're asking me this question, it's probably that you're not ready. Okay? Easy does it. Navi, thank you. I'm glad it helps you, my lovely. I'm glad it helps you. Now, I'll just wait for the questions to pop up. Okay, here's one. PXE Jen. SP and I used to be together for over a year. Broke up and now we're little to no contact. We both still love each other very much, but he only wants to be friends. Any tips to get him back? Well, I would ask yourself, can I be friends to start? Would that be okay? Is that something I can do? But it's nurturing what you have with somebody and practicing, I think, unconditional love. I think it's very, very important to build a relationship from a place of friendship. So if someone just wants to be friends, then you go, okay, am I a person that can do that? Some people can't, that's fine. Some people can, go for it. But I think it's really important to just enjoy the friendship and build on that without trying to control, trying to push, keep your neediness in check. keep yourself in a happy, loving state, because sometimes when you're in a loving state, it's very attractive to be around. It's very attractive. When you're free and playful and happy and joyful and feeling beautiful and enjoying life, and your happiness isn't dependent on them and they can feel that, nice to be around. Now, Christy. Hi, so happy to see you. I'm not sure where are my blocks on manifesting SPs. Both don't want commitment or have something that I don't desire. Okay. So, if someone doesn't want a commitment, then you go, okay, if that's me pushed out, I must have a belief somewhere that says the man I want won't commit to me, the man I want doesn't want me, the connection between us isn't working, we don't understand each other, we don't want the same things. So you have to, Christy, change those things in yourself by saying, I love how the man I want wants me. I love that when I'm happy and playful and relaxed, that those men or that man wants to commit to me. I love that the more I get into a state of love, that I attract commitment. Now, ask yourself, this is an important part, I'm glad I just thought of this. If you are looking for commitment, ask yourself this one question. Am I secure and bringing my security towards a commitment, or am I actually looking for security from the commitment? Number one is where you want to get to, okay? That you are secure and you're bringing that towards them. If you're doing that, you will attract commitment because you're not trying to get commitment from the relationship. So it's like the older generations, the men were happy to be a woman's security. Now it's changed. Men want more a woman who stands next to them, I think, and I get this information from coaching people and talking to men, that they want a woman who is happy in her own skin, playful, relaxed, has her own hobbies and interests, and doesn't want to revolve her whole life around him. Men like to be free, but they will love to be in a commitment with someone who allows them to be free and who isn't always in a I'm not getting enough, I want more state of dissatisfaction. So it's really important to ask yourself that question. Am I secure? And am I going to give that to the relationship? Or am I looking for the relationship to give me the security? And if it's the second one, it's okay. But then you go, I need to work on being more secure, more at peace, more relaxed, more in charge of my joy and my fun. And I'm not going to put that onto the other person. So make a little list of, okay, how can I make myself feel more secure? It's the usual things, self-love meditations, affirmations. You must work on your mental diet. And if anything comes up, neediness, anger, I'm not getting enough, I want more, I'm not important, I don't matter, I'm not a priority, I'm second best, I'm rejected, I'm brokenhearted, all these things, you go, that's what I have to work on, and I got to change myself so that I become more secure within myself and that I bring my security towards my potential commitment and husband. Okay? Good question. Now, always right. I'm struggling with SP. He's emotionally cheated and has apologized and wants to recommit, but I can't really look at him the same anymore, but I love him. How do I not get triggered from the past? Well, you have to say to yourself, okay, I didn't cause what happened and I can't cure it, but the fact that it happened on my watch, that's in me, as in, did I have fear of loss, fear of abandonment, feeling second best to other women. And then you stop looking to them and you go, if that happened to me, I have to work on those things. And it doesn't really matter always, right, if you choose to correct this while in the relationship with your specific person, or you move on to someone new, because you take you with you. These things happen again and again and again, and in my case, 5 times, because I didn't understand in my 20s, no, in my teens when I first got cheated on, and then in my 20s, and then in my 30s, I didn't understand that I was the common denominator. I had a huge fear of loss. I had a huge fear of abandonment because my whole history, you know, in my culture, being French, Italian, infidelity is huge. It's a part of the fiber of those cultures and not a very nice part. So there's people cheating on each other all the time. I grew up watching all my family do that, giving each other keys to different houses so someone could go and sleep with someone and do. Didn't understand that at the time, but as I got older, I understood that people were doing all this. So it's like you have to deal with the core of you that has those fears, and that's stuck in the inner child, and the inner child needs to do some work, you and the inner child together, to release fear of second best, fear of not good enough, abandonment, fear of loss, second bestness, I don't matter, I'm not good enough, some other woman out there is better than me. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to get rid of this, because it kept happening again and again and again. But you can get rid of it. It's just you have to go to the core of where this stuff first started. So if you can do a bit of writing, it really helps. But I would have a look at the 2 inner child meditations on my channel. Do them for free. Go through and see if the inner child throws anything up, like releases any emotion, hurt, rejection, brokenheartedness, often from the father. It might have been a brother, it might have been an uncle, it might have been a really close male friend at school. That's where all this stuff begins. So, yeah. Anyway, I just got to unravel my skirt. So, yeah, start there. Do the inner child work. If you go to my channel, just put in inner child after my name. You will see discussions I've had with different people about the inner child and the work to do to clear a lot of this. It's in the interviews where we go into more depth. Okay? Sabi Bagi. Any advice on how to use law of attraction to make the best decision and choose a path that will lead you to the best possible outcome when it comes to finance and career? Well, yes. Firstly, write yourself a script. Secondly, what I would do is from the script, then you do an imaginal scene. So scripting and imaginal scenes to me are like bookends. They go together. What you write in your script is what you imagine. They're both living in the end exercises. So if you can do that and say, it doesn't have to be specific because you're not really sure which way you want to go or which way to go. So you go, okay, I love that the decisions I make lead me to where I want to go. I love that I'm really happy every time there's a fork in the road. It moves me further and further along. Isn't it wonderful what's happening to me now? Everything is always working out for me. I'm at the right place at the right time. I meet the right people. Wow, this journey is amazing. Okay, so it could be a general script, a general imaginal scene. Okay, and the imaginal scene could be that you're just shaking hands with someone and they go, we've got an amazing opportunity for you and we really want you to come and join us. It doesn't have to be that you know the company, the industry, how old you are, where the company is, what location it is, what country it's in, or any of those things. You can just be general. It's like you put your antenna up and then you allow it to come. And that's not to say you don't look for jobs on, job sites or whatever. You might try and have a look and see what pops up. But it's like once you're in that wonderful state of adventure and fun, and this is amazing, and it just keeps getting better and better, and this is fantastic. Oh my goodness, look at the people I'm meeting, and they open doors. They're golden links in the chain. That's when things come. So that's how I would use it. You're using law of attraction, but you're rewinding a bit. You're really using law of assumption, law of projection, and then law of attraction brings you back the evidence. So law of assumption, what you assume about this career. Law of projection sends it out. Law of attraction photocopies it and brings you back in a variety of options. Okay? And if you want to, you can do a few affirmations. I love that I fall on my feet. I love that the most amazing places reveal themselves to me. Now, Amit, Sharon, I just saw your message briefly. Can you pop it up again in a second? Because it's yours is an important question because of what you just said. But I've got one more question up here. Okay, just give me 1 second, pop it back up. Amit, in my own experience, good things started coming suddenly when I was at the peak of frustration and I didn't feel positive at all. I think that's because I didn't try to force myself to be positive. And I would say you're probably in a state of, you get frustrated, eventually you have to let go. It's like the frustration, it's like enough already, I'm sick of this, I'm not doing anything more, I've had enough, and you just kind of give up. So that's why things often work and come to you, is when it's like the frustration is before the surrender, the letting go, and the allowing. So yeah, I mean, I've had things manifest when I've had a real, and then I just give up, and then I just, it's like, woof, then it's like the energy changes. It's like the energy breaks. So, yes, you don't force yourself to be positive. Exactly. We need to focus on positivity, mental diet, and all of that, but there's this thing around called toxic positivity where people are positive all the time and they don't feel anything. That's not, no, we've got an emotional guidance system. We're not robots just preset to positivity and happiness like Stedford Wives. We have to have emotions, process them, let them out, let them go, relax, and all of that. Sharon, do you want to pop your question up now? Because I saw that you said your mum had passed away, so I'm happy to answer your question next if you can just throw it up again. I didn't see the first bit of your question. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, I'll answer this one while I'm waiting for you. Why do you suggest, always right, why do you suggest on inner child healing instead of revision for being cheated on? Well, you can do revision as well, but revision sometimes doesn't get to what the inner child is holding. If you've got stuff that's still locked in your body's like a suitcase, you see. So if you're holding emotions of seeing your mother cheat on your father or your father cheat on your mother, and you've got this intense fear about it, you need to go and do the inner child healing, I think. I mean, revision is great, but, I tried revision for a long time. It only got to a certain level, and it's to clean up the past because the past is still alive in you. But there comes a point where some people's trauma, some people's experiences need inner child work because you need to release the emotions that the inner child is still carrying around like a suitcase. So you can do both. Revision's good, but I would suggest you do inner child work too. Sharon, hi Agnes, can I still manifest my SP? My mum just passed on last week. Yes, Sharon, yes, of course you can. Just because you're being grief doesn't mean you can't manifest. Grief is really a state of letting go. So if you can allow yourself to grieve when you need to, it's like it often clears a lot of old stuff. It also puts you into a more introverted and peaceful state. And it's not a handbrake to manifesting if you're grieving. The only time I would say it is if you shove addictions over the top of it and you don't allow yourself to grieve. People that can grieve and cry and let it out, that's a natural part of life. Is either we go or someone else we love goes. This is, difficult. It's difficult. It's easy if you read the spiritual text of what you got to do, but when you're living it in human form, this is tough. So, it really is about allowing yourself to grieve, making time and space for it. Do it when there's no one around so that you can fully let go, and then have a little sleep, and then you wake up and you feel tired, but you feel like you got that stuff off your chest and in your stomach, all those emotions. So I'm sorry to hear you going through that, Sharon, because that really isn't easy. And, I remember when my dad passed away, it took me quite a long time, and I went through anger, grief, all these emotions. Just allow yourself to feel as best you can, my love. So no, don't think just because you're grieving that you cannot attract a specific person, that it's going to hinder you, okay? It's not, I'm grieving, I can't manifest anything. No. Grieving is letting go and surrender. Letting go and surrender creates a space and a vacuum. So, Christy, you said, my inner child was so hurt by family criticism and I still get paranoid that people judge me harshly. I'm wondering what are some affirmations to heal that? Good question. I don't think it's sort of affirmations that would work. This is part of my history too, Christy, is criticism from, the father, criticism from men and all of that. So I think like you say, the inner child's really hurt by all that. And then when someone criticizes today, you kind of flare up and go on the defense attack inside, at least. You may not say things on the outside, but that thing of, getting angry and then wanting to push them off you. So I think the best way to do it is to do, again, inner child work, to go back to certain incidences, maybe the top 3 that you remember, because we always remember a certain one or certain people that did it, those sorts of things. So it really is about, I think, doing the inner child work. And I would use Ho'oponopono too. I think that's a good one. It's like when it comes up in the moment as an adult, it's about saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me that I'm having a massive reaction to that person's criticism, and start to see if you can do that in the moment. And then if someone criticizes, I got to the point where I could say, okay, that's interesting, I'll think about that, I'll get back to you. Instead of going, and having a moment where your head's wobbling and you're getting angry, which is just, doesn't really work, does it? It's not very powerful to just get angry and have a go. But some people do say things that are very critical, and some of it is constructive criticism, but when you're someone who's had criticism as a child, you can't take that either. So I think it's about, I would use Ho'oponopono, and I would use the inner child work for that particular thing. And I know for me, certain people in my family, they still wind me up. But I just breathe, breathe. That really helps. And don't speak for a little bit, which takes some self-control while you're working on this stuff in the background. Hang on, all the little comments just disappeared. I don't know where they go. Okay. Harleen, how to heal ourselves and overcome depression. I'm not able to believe I love myself because sometimes I don't even feel like waking up or continue living. Yeah, I mean, that is where depression takes us sometimes. And I think it's doing simple things. I think Ho'oponopono is good for depression because it's simple, it's repetitive, and it's not you're trying to make yourself feel anything. You're just saying, I'm sorry, I'm hurting myself with a depression, please forgive me. You know, it's not as if I'm doing this on purpose. You know, sometimes this is my experience, sometimes this is my interpretation of what people have done. Sometimes it's my circumstances. Sometimes I'm overworked and I hate my job. Sometimes I've had something really bad happen to me and I still haven't recovered. So please forgive me that I can't let this go. I love you. Thank you. Now, you're not doing all those in between bits that I'm just saying them out loud so you get the sense of how it works. But Ho'oponopono is gentle and easy. There's a couple on my channel. There's an 8-hour one. There's a 45-minute one. Other people, Jason Stevenson does a lovely Ho'oponopono as well. Just put it on and just listen to it and let it just wash over you, because sometimes it's just too hard. When you feel like that, I'm going to do a self-love meditation, I'm going to do affirmations. Those things when you're depressed are actually annoying to do. So I think just do those. Keep it simple. That's enough. Okay? Now, I'm going to do about another 5 minutes, people, and then I'm going to go and have my dinner. RB. Hey, Agnes, how long did you do your self-love and work till you noticed things between your SP and you became stable? Good question. I think, well, my SP and I were in different countries. I was up and down like a yo-yo. I was really emotional at work. I was devastated. Then we'd have contact. I'd be high and happy. And then I'd be, I don't know what he's doing. And then I'd go into fear of what if he's seeing somebody else. It was just this roller coaster. So I would say, to answer your question, to get better at it, I would probably say a couple of years, because I wasn't consistent enough. I think it could have been shorter if I had been more consistent. Once I did that thing that you've probably heard me talk about, where I'd lay on my bed and I would do I am love, I am love, I am love, may divine love be made alive in me. I'd get home from work, I'd take off my work clothes, I'd have a shower, put my pajamas on, and I didn't watch TV for about 8 months. All I did was work on that. And the aim was to go from feeling unloved to loved, and that was the work that I wanted to improve on, because I kept looking for external love. Even though I knew I shouldn't be, I kept doing it. So it was a process of about 2 years, and it was a process of slow incline, getting better, getting better, getting better. Because after a while, it starts to kick in, where you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and it's I am love, may divine love be made alive in me. It'll just start on its own because you've done it so much. Instead of going, oh, you're a loser, you're not good enough, that person doesn't want you, instead of that stuff that kicks in naturally. So, I think if you're consistent at about 4 days a week and you don't overdo it 7 days a week and get exhausted, if you make this a serious part of your life and you're not doing all that, make them beg, get them to commit, manifest your SP in 3 hours, all that, I will say, program of foolishness. That stuff is actually making people feel bad that they can't manifest quickly. And, don't beat yourself up if you can't manifest quickly. I didn't manifest really quickly. I didn't manifest really slowly. I just kind of manifested in the middle, and that's it, you see. I just do your best and say to yourself, I'm doing my best. And I am learning so much about myself because my SP is one of the greatest teachers I have ever had. So it's being gentle with yourself, it's being kind with yourself and saying, this is like, people go to university for 4 years to learn something, and then they might do a master's. It's almost like you need to do a degree in terms of focus, not in terms of knowledge, because there is no degree in love or no degree in SP manifesting, but the harnessing your mental state takes time to practice and to feel good enough and to feel secure and to feel that you matter and to feel that you are a worthy person that is deserving of having this beautiful, amazing connection with this other human being, the one that you like, love, want to be with, makes your heart sing. You know, it's possible, but it's not. It's such a difficult journey of self-acceptance, I find. When I look back, it was hard to accept myself. It was hard to accept I wasn't good at, you know, my concentration wasn't good during meditations, affirmations. I'd start and 10 minutes later I'm going, I'm thinking about my shopping list, or I didn't take the clothes out of the washing machine and hang them out before I went out. You know, like the mind. And I think in this day and age for you guys, it's harder because you, like, when I was manifesting my SP, it was kind of I think YouTube was probably just starting or something. So wasn't the bombardment that there is now. So make sure you listen to people that have an SP, that still maintain that relationship. Be mindful who you listen to. And that doesn't mean I'm talking about just YouTube. I'm talking about family. I'm talking about even if you go to a coach or a counselor or a therapist. I mean, ask the question, have you got a relationship and are you still in it? That would be my first question now. It's like we take advice from people that don't even have what we want. And they give us all these pretzel twisted advice, you know? So just make sure that you're getting genuinely good advice. And you might have people in your life that actually have good relationships. Talk to them, ask them questions. How did you do it? How do you think about your relationship? You know, all these questions, they will know because they're living it and they're putting real-time love into it. I think they're the best people to ask. So, yeah. RB. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Agnes. My pleasure. I have many success stories from using your videos. Let me know if you'd like to hear them. I would. Send them in. I'm a bit short of success. Success stories sort of seem to come in waves. In the description of every YouTube, darling, there's my email address. So just email me, you know, one story at a time. I mean, you know, I love stories on all topics. It's not just about relationships or SPs. And we need to inspire in all areas. So if you can manifest other things, it gives you confidence to manifest the most amazing relationship you've ever had, you see. So, yeah. Wonderful questions. Well, I am going to go and have something to eat. Sharon, big hugs to you. Big, big hugs. I don't know if you saw, you might not have seen it. I did a grief meditation in the last 10 days. Someone else I know lost somebody very close to them and they asked me to do it. And I said, is it something you want me to do for you, or do you want me to do it for the channel? And they said, no, put it up on the channel. So I have put it up for them and it is there for you to use. So thank you for joining me, everyone. And I will be doing these once a week for a while because I think it gives me an idea a bit more about what you want to know and where you're stuck. And, you know, I get it. We need to go over this subject again and again and again and again because you hear it in different ways, then you forget, then you learn a bit more, you apply. You know, it really is... It's like it's live streaming, the questions, how you feel, how you forget what you've learned when you're upset, when you're emotional and all these things. So, you know, I thought I'd make myself a little bit more available. The person in my life that has been incredibly unwell and is now healing, and the second person in my life that's not doing great health-wise, I'm doing a lot of meditation meditation to do some imagining for them, but I have a bit more time and I would like to be of service and hopefully help some of you to get some relief. So lots of love. Thank you for joining in the live, and I will post it on the community tab whenever I'm about to do one. I'll post it in the morning, and that way you've got time, like at least 12 hours or 10 hours to know that it's coming, and you can hop in live if you want to. I used to just hop in, but I thought that's not really that helpful for you guys, so. Lovely to see you, everybody, and may you all achieve beautiful results, and just say to yourself, I'm doing my best and that's enough. And I will see you in the next live.